Hello again everyone. Today I'll be talking about healing yet again, although I really want to go back to more casual content after this, like fashion videos and housing showcases. But before I get to relax, let me tell you about my Sorcerer healer for the Ravenwatch campaign. Sorcs are not often talked about in the context of PvP healing, since traditionally the go-to healing classes have been Templar and Warden. But I'll go as far as to say that as of update 39, Sorcs are the best healing class for the Non-Proc campaign. Why? We'll get to that shortly. Before I start, I should point out that I already have made several videos about PvP healing, including the one before this, where I talk about how to build a healer for the Ravenwatch campaign, regardless of class. So there will be some overlap in the information I give. If you want a more detailed look at why I picked these sets and skills, go and give that a watch after. Now, who's this Sorc build for? As I said, this build is specifically for the Ravenwatch campaign, so that means we won't be relying on proc sets or champion points. This build is also meant to be played in groups of around 7 players or more, so it's not ideal for small scaling. Beyond that limitation, the build is very flexible, so with some minor adjustments you can play it in both casual guilds and high-end ball groups. With all those disclaimers out of the way, let's take a look at the build. As with most Ravenwatch healing builds, the first set is Hardened Conqueror. Combined with our weapon traits, we'll get both extra healing done and spell damage, which means bigger heals. Hardened Conqueror is crafted so we are able to pick our exact weight. More on that in a moment. The second set is Eternal Vigor. This is the set that can give us the most magicka and stamina sustain. This allows us to keep up our buffs and heals over time permanently, while also being able to burst through pressure. Eternal Vigor is easy to get as it's an overland set, but since it's a heavy set, we'll need to specifically choose the pieces we can use, as we'll only want to run one heavy piece. Our Mythic is the Ring of Mark and Majesty. We get both extra spell damage and resistances. And finally, our helmet or shoulder is any monster set where the one piece bonus is 4% extra healing done. Examples include Symphony of Blades, Earthgore, and Sentinel of... I'm not pronouncing that. For the weight distribution, we'll go for 1 piece of heavy, the chest, 5 pieces of medium, and 1 piece of light. This gives us a lot of spell and weapon damage, speed, and an additional boost to our stamina sustain. Our armor traits will be 1 piece of reinforced on the chest, and then 3 pieces of impenetrable and 3 pieces of divines. You can also go for up to 6 pieces of impenetrable, which might help you a bit if you plan to play heavily outnumbered. We go for prismatic enchantments on every piece. Jewelry traits will be 3 times infused, all with increased weapon and spell damage glyphs. On other classes I'd bring 2 pieces of swift jewelry, but Sorc mobility makes this kind of unnecessary in my experience. You can still go for it if you want even more speed. Now, my Sorc is a Breton, so on some other races you may need a piece of magicka recovery to hit the sustain sweet spot. Finally, weapon traits. For front bar we'll take dual wielded swords, the main hand Nirnhone and the offhand powered. The superior weapon and spell damage compared to the restoration staff gives us stronger heals in this bar. The enchants don't really matter too much here, but I often run 1 absorb stamina and 1 absorb magicka, so that I can heavy attack nearby mobs for resources if needed. Backbar is a restoration staff, as we'll still need some abilities from that skill line. The trait is powered and the enchant is increased weapon and spell damage. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . As I said before, I play a Breton on my main Sorc healer. This build will work on any race, but you might want to take this into account if you feel like you lack Magicka sustain. We'll use the ritual Mundus blessing for extra healing done, since our sustain is good enough to forget about the Atronach. Our food is Zorga's Red Frothgar for extra Magicka recovery and HP. For potions, you can use simple tri-set potions or removability potions. We won't use Vampirism as it is really not needed for group healing on Ravenwatch and it will only hurt our fantastic sustain. For attributes I put 34 points into health and 30 points into Magicka. You can tweak this a bit depending on what bonuses your race has, but in my case it results in almost 33k HP and close to 25k Magicka on both bars. First, the front bar. We have Ball of Lightning as our mobility tool. It allows us to escape a bad situation fast while also giving us brief snare immunity and potentially absorbing an enemy projectile. Then Power Surge, which is a sort of passive heal over time that can do a solid amount of healing. It's easy to keep up and it also gives us major sorcery and brutality. Next is my flex spot. I put Inner Light here for convenience, as it gives me a little bit of extra magicka and also Major Prophecy, which I want in order to keep Power Surge proccing reliably. You could also run another skill here, such as Flare, Orb, or Shuffle, or Alter, but in that case you might want to run immovability potions that also grant Major Prophecy. Then we have Bound Aegis. This is key to the build, as of update 39 it grants us many things just by slotting it on our bar, both through the skill itself and the Sorc passives. On both bars we get 8% extra magicka, 8% extra health, minor resolve and minor protection. On the front bar we also get 20% more stamina and health recovery. So basically slotting this one skill passively grants you more benefits than some 5-piece sets. Of course we also slot Echoing Vigor, still the best heal over time in the game. Our ultimate is Replenishing Barrier, which is a great ultimate to use in groups and also passively boosts our magicka recovery. On our back bar we have Hurricane for the minor expedition speed buff as well as major resolve. Healing Springs is our ground AoE heal that also boosts our sustain. Radiating Regeneration as our other heal over time, and Blessing of Restoration as our main burst heal. Finally, Inner Light again as our back bar flex spot, so what I said earlier also applies here. Our ultimate is Absorption Field or the Healing Negate, which can both heal allies and frustrate enemies. So what does that leave us with? Your stats may differ based on item quality and race, but on my build I have 32.5k health, 24.5k magicka and 16.5k stamina. Front bar recoveries are over 2000 magicka recovery and almost 1400 base stamina recovery. Mind that these sustain numbers can go up significantly in combat, especially if you throw in things like potions and continuous attack. So you often end up with above 3000 magicka recovery and 2000 stamina recovery on a build that uses no recovery glyphs, which is pretty damn decent if you ask me. Spell and weapon damage starts at 5300 and can go way above 7000 in combat, helping us get pretty amazing heals. Echoing Vigor will often crit for 2.5k to 3k healing or even more, and your Blessing of Restoration burst heal can crit for 12 to over 14k. These numbers can go even higher if you have other players around to give you reliable access to minor brutality and minor courage. The build has great mobility with Ball of Lightning and Hurricane, which should make you super survivable even without more common snare removals such as Shuffle or Race Against Time. Still, you can add those to your flex spot if you want to. I believe that Sorcerer is currently the best group healing class available for Ravenwatch. The combination of its innate mobility and the amazing Sorc passes that give us extra resources, protection and sustain makes for a healer that can always be in the right spot when it matters the most. Our already strong healing is boosted by Power Surge, which passively adds a bunch of healing power. And to top it off, we have Negate as an unmatched group utility tool. If you really want to help out your DDs, you can even put Lightning Flood on one of your flex spots and provide a strong damage synergy. Alright, so I hope you'll have fun with this healing build. As always, feel free to tweak the build according to your own liking and don't hesitate to ask me any questions in the comments. Now, I don't expect the Ravenwatch healing meta to shift too much over the coming months, so I don't know how much I'll be talking about this topic in the near future. I intend to finally get back to fashion and housing videos, so I hope to see you back for those soon.